Hi, my name is Ella, and today I'll be going over case study number 13. Case study 13 depicts that your teenage niece recently makes comments to you, specifically that she's feeling worse than everyone else, especially about her body, specifically that she's not tall enough, skinny enough, and then emotionally that she's not extroverted enough, and that she notices that the guys and girls around her that do those things seem to be more successful, and she specifically states she's not stating any depressive attributes such as she wants to kill herself, but she's just confused as why she's not as much or as alike as all the other kids that she is around, and she doesn't want to do drugs, but she's curious that if they would help her be out more going, and that she wants her real self to be shining through, which so after reading that, there's a couple of things that stand out specifically that she can be correct about, and then other things that she's not entirely correct about, and then or things that she could help be more clarified about to make her statement stronger, or to help clarify how she's feeling. So first off, we can see what she is correct about. She is correct that other kids her age seem to have energy, and so if we look at our lecture notes, specifically the limbic system, you can see that teens often have high-risk behavior, which can also be interpreted as they are more active, which it also, let me move this over, they tend to have more planning and decision making, and they're not, their emotions and their reward is very active during puberty. And then we also see that other activities are higher, such as sexual activity and drug use, and other attributes that could make it seem like they are being more active in their life, especially since if they hang out with people that do these things, then they tend to try to match this behavior. And then she's also okay to be feeling a little confused about her body changing. Again, if we look at our textbook, we can see that there is specifically a lot of physical changes in adolescence specifically, which varies from person to person, especially during this period of time. And then her aspect, if we look at it at the lower down in our textbook as well, that she states that specifically about drug use, about how it'll make her self shine through. It's not true. In fact, it actually depletes the cognitive and developmental processes of our brains. And it's actually very incorrect, as they might develop an addiction or substance abuse listed here. And then also it depicts that in our lecture notes as well, I believe. Maybe not. Generally under risk-taking behavior, that's part of drug use as well. But she is generally incorrect. She assumes that she is much worse than everyone else because of her height, weight, and introverted aspects of her personality. She is generally, if we look at our lecture notes again, let me try to find, I think this is the right page. Yes. Specifically, if we look at the physical changes, you can see that everyone experiences these changes in characteristics, especially how anatomy changes and the effects of the development. And some people develop more quickly and some don't, which she's making the assumption that her peers are naturally more successful and are figured out due to this, which is not true at all. She's just experiencing the psychological parts of puberty that teens compare themselves very highly to others. And then moving on to what she could have said, if we look back at the lecture notes and what it states about the brain development and limbic system from this part. Am I in the right spot? Yes, I am. All these different attributes contribute to what they could feel. So she, instead of internalizing these as failures, she could understand her own development and the timing and just the general confusing time that puberty is for everyone. To make a healthier statement, not necessarily that her first statement was incorrect, because in fact that is a very normal way to feel, but a way that she could have better, self-intuition, or like self-acknowledgement, that she could say something that she notices that my body she could say that my body and my social life is changing a lot right now, and it's making me feel insecure, but I also realize that my brain is going through a massive change with my hormones, and that affects me physically and mentally, and that I should be patient and acknowledge that I shouldn't try to change myself to fit in or try to take up any behaviors that I don't really want to do to fit in socially, and just give myself patience and or grace while my brain and my body finish developing healthily.